So, welcome to the park. Obviously we asked for the weather and we've got the weather. It's that sunny I can't even see. But thanks everybody for coming today. My name's Sonia Bassi. I am the chair of Mandela 8, and I'd just like to say a big thank you for all coming out in the cold to spend some time with us today to mark this huge occasion, this historical moment in our community with us in Princes Park. It's a day that not only marks the start of works on site for our memorial to Nelson Mandela, but it's the day that our greatest leader of our time, it also marks the 29-year anniversary of his release from prison. Just over 5 years ago, this park was the focal point of people's loss and remembrance, and today we are here to celebrate how far we have come. I'd like to introduce Lynn Collins, former chair of Mandela 8, to say a few words about Mandela 8 and our memorial.
Thanks very much, and like Sonia, on behalf of Mandela 8, I'd like to welcome you all here today, and in particular say hello again to our distinguished guests, Dr Maki and Tukwini Mandela, who we met last year in South Africa when we shared our vision with them, and we're honoured to stand alongside them here today. And as Sonia said, 29 years ago, those of us of a certain age will remember sitting glued to our TV sets and watching Nelson Mandela walk to freedom. And for those of us who'd been involved in the struggle against apartheid and for his release, that day was a landmark in our lives as political, trade union and community activists. And it's the lessons that we learned in that campaign that stood us in good stead and brought us to where we are today with Mandela 8. The power of bringing community, political and trade union groups together to achieve a single goal. The value of solidarity in communities and internationally. The lesson that sometimes campaigns aren't quick wins and it may take years to reach fruition. The lesson that only by harnessing the power of women as well as men leading our campaigns on equal terms will we truly deliver on the principles that Mandela stood for. The use of innovative organising strategies, fundraising, but never compromising the principles of the campaign just for a financial donation. All lessons that we've put to good use during the life of this campaign. And today we're finally here, marking the start of the next phase, laying foundations, sharing Mandela's message with the next generation, and building a true legacy for a man that provided inspiration to us all. And as our campaign does move on to the next phase, we can draw our guidance and inspiration from Mandela as a free man and those three principles he lived his life by. Free yourself, free others, and serve every day. Going forward, the cornerstone of our campaign will be educational and inspiring, aimed at the generations who didn't see Mandela cast his first vote in South Africa's first democratic elections 25 years ago this year, but need to know the significance of that moment. Aimed at those who didn't hear him commit to just serve one term of office, always ensuring that the campaigns to deliver a democratic South Africa took precedence over any personal promotion or honour. Aimed to show that another world is possible, that discrimination, even in its worst form, apartheid can be challenged if good people take action. Mandela 8 will be part of that legacy, and this memorial will provide a focus for that. But it will be the people here today, the children and young people, the political and trade union leaders, and the citizens of our city who will bring that legacy to life. And so we pledge to continue to work in his name, challenging injustice, fighting poverty, defending rights at home, in work and in our society. Proud to be here, proud to remember, and committed to the future.
Can I just introduce Mayor Joe Anderson from Liverpool City Council, one of our partners from the beginning in this campaign.
Good morning, and it's an honour and a privilege for Liverpool to host the Mandela family here today. And it's great to see so many young people, because I'm not going to go on about the principles and the values and the fight of Nelson Mandela and lots of people who lost their lives and fought to rid the stain of man's inhumanity to man during the apartheid regime. We'll speak about that during today and during the next few days of the visits, but it's great to see so many young people, because what today is about making sure that his legacy, his battle, his fight, his lifelong battle and his lifelong fight for justice and equality for everybody means that we'll have a lasting memorial here right in the heart of Liverpool 8, where we'll have a memorial of people who jog round this park, who visit the park, who fish, who come to participate and enjoy the park, will be able to see and talk about his legacy, his lifelong legacy. And also it's great that our young people, because that's what we have to do, is make sure that our young people, who are the guardians of those principles for the future, actually understand the battles and the fights that took place, and the many thousands and thousands, hundreds of thousands of people that lost their lives in fighting for justice and equality. And it's also good to look around and see some faces here from decades ago who fought to help sustain the ANC during that long campaign. So welcome to you all. I hope the family, you enjoy your visits here. You'll always receive a very warm welcome. Of course, we bestowed the freedom of the city on Nelson Mandela many years ago, and we're honoured to have done so. And we want to maintain and retain our links with the Mandela family. So we welcome you to Liverpool, and we hope you enjoy your stay here. And we will provide you with friendship, solidarity and warmth of heart while you're here, so please enjoy. And now I'm going to introduce Phil Jennings from Uni Global.
I just wanted to give a warm welcome to Philip Jennings. He's the former General Secretary of Uni Global Union, and he's a long-term supporter of our campaign.
Thank you, Sonia. Thank you, Bill. Good morning, everybody. I'd like to thank you all for the invitation this morning, and I want to congratulate everyone involved in this stunning and brilliant initiative. I was the leader of Uni Global Union, which was an organisation with 900 trade unions in 150 countries around the world, and this morning I speak on behalf of all of those organised workers worldwide. Together with Mandela 8 and the City Council and all the other groups, we have made this happen. We are privileged to be here with the Mandela family, Dr Makaziwe, Dr Maki, I think people say, and to Mrs Tukwini Mandela. And I think it'd be great if all the kids could give them both a very warm welcome here this morning. Come on, kids. I had the privilege of meeting Nelson Mandela on a number of occasions, and I was touched by his greatness and his kindness. When I shook hands with him, he said, "Mr. Philip, I assure you, because of the support of the working people for our struggle, I will not wash this hand today." I subsequently discovered he said this to many people. I also had the opportunity to meet with a Rivonia trialist. It'd be great for the kids to look into that Rivonia trial when the people were condemned to life imprisonment in Robben Island. And he was Ahmad Kathrada. Kati, he has passed away since. But I met him and he spoke to our Congress of 3,000 people in Cape Town. And we were touched by his words of peace and gratitude that he expressed to the people of the world. And he humbled and inspired us. I visited the Mandela cell on Robben Island, or in Robben Island, where he spent 18 long years. And it's important to remember at that time that the regime tried to break him and his fellow prisoners. They were starved, they were brutalized, they were hard labored. The attempt was to cut them off from the world. The evil apartheid regime basically buried them alive. Now, Robben Island is miles offshore from Cape Town. It takes almost an hour by boat to get there. There were sharks in the water, and I can assure you there were sharks on the land. There was no bridge. And now we have Mandela Island in the background. And there will be a bridge to that island. Now, Mandela spoke of a long walk to freedom. And with this Mandela Island, it's just a few short steps to a place of hope, of remembrance, of resolve, of reconciliation, of learning and of wisdom, where, particularly to all the kids, you make the best of yourself. And may all those that visit the island be inspired by him, by his life and the message that he brought, to feel the triumph of his human spirit and also to strengthen your own. And may all that visit here be touched by the power of solidarity and common humanity, and then raise their voice against persecution of those that are standing for justice, equality, and human rights. Today, in a prison in Thailand, is a soccer player. He's a member of Uni Global Union. He stood up and raised his voice for democracy in his own country, Bahrain. And he now faces an extradition treaty, an extradition order to take him from Thailand to back home to Bahrain, where we know he will face injustice and likely torture. So on this day when Nelson Mandela himself was released, on February the 11th, we call for the release of Hakim El Arabi. May all those visit see the power of your solidarity, not for you the world of walls, of concrete, of hate, of racism. Mandela and prisoners were cut off from the world, but there was a human chain of solidarity, of global solidarity, who protested and boycotted and sang and marched. Extraordinary efforts here in Liverpool and around the world. I see the school children here today. In 1976, the school children of Soweto and of townships throughout South Africa protested against the brutal apartheid regime. And here we are today, when we look around the world, the school children are finding their voice again as they go on strike and demonstrate and protest to save our planet from climate disaster. To the children here today, visit this island and say, yes, I can change this world for the better. In closing, I am proud that Uni Global Union has played its role to make this happen today. I'd like to congratulate all of you in Mandela 8 and all the people of Liverpool for making this possible. In 1994, Nelson Mandela became a free man of Liverpool. And now with Mandela Island, we can say he has his Liverpool home in the centre of your Liverpool home. Thank you very much for the invitation. Thank you.
Thank you, Philip. I'd just like to introduce Tom Kendall, who's from Wayward, who designed our stunning memorial, which you can see on the board there. So, Tom.
Okay. Thank you very much. Good morning. Obviously, as designers, to be asked to design a project like this is an incredibly rare and valuable opportunity, and something that we never thought would ever come along in our lifetimes, if I'm honest. And it's been so wonderful to be received so warmly by Mandela 8 and by Liverpool as a city, actually, and as well to be able to absorb the life of somebody like Mandela so heartedly. And we were very, very nervous coming into a project like this as outsiders, not just to Mandela, but to a city, and also as a generation that didn't grow up understanding these things and having to learn about them. So I'm going to just start with Mandela's words. We were thoroughly excited by his approach to gardens. We do a lot of garden design. We focus on landscapes and art. And so one of the things he used was his gardens within the prisons. And so he said, to tend it and then harvest it offered a simple but enduring satisfaction. The sense of being a custodian of this small patch of earth offered a small taste of freedom. And that is something that we were really keen to harness in this project. He was an incredibly innovative and inspirational man, and what he used these gardens for was as a space for resilience and a platform for the community. He used these gardens to grow fruit and to grow vegetables, and he used them to barter and to trade with the guards in these prisons to get them more liberation, but more freedom within that space, to exchange them for educational tools, as well as to exchange them for better nutrition, because obviously a lot of the non-white prisoners were not fed as well, so which was the shocking conditions that they obviously had to go through. So we were very aware of all of these nuances to his approach to democracy and diplomacy and to the community that he was trying to represent and to serve. At one particular prison, which is Polesmore Prison, he asked the authorities to give him 16 oil barrels, which he then asked them to cut in half and to fill with soil. And this motif is something that we want to replicate in the design of this final memorial. So on that island over there, there will be these 16 oil drums cut in half and then arrayed to create an outdoor classroom, which hopefully all of you guys will use in the future going forward. And I do believe one of the schools is going to be getting this valve. So you're going to start your custodianship of this space very, very soon, which is really exciting. You get to learn the power that food and community has, hopefully through this motif of the garden. I kind of want to keep it quite short and simple actually, because I think he would have liked that possibly as well. And so I think I just want to say along the thing that this sort of drum motif and these gardens, that's what he believed in. He believed in like that you could use food as an incredible tool, and that's something that we really want to harness in this project. And I look forward to coming up and visiting all of you guys and exploring this space with you and working out how we can work out a better future for the city as well. So thank you very much.
We went to South Africa in March last year, and I think never in our wildest dreams did we think that we would be coming back with the blessing of the Mandelas for our designs. But I can say that when we shared those designs with Dr Makaziwe Mandela, the look on her face gave us such reassurance, the warmth in her smile when she saw the designs and what was going to be on the island behind us, just filled us with sheer joy really. And I think we were so honoured to find out that she accepted our invitation to come to the city. So I'd like you all to give a warm welcome please to Dr Makaziwe Mandela and Tukwini Mandela. All the way from South Africa.
Good morning. Thank you very much, Sonia. Thank you very much. I think for us as Mandela's colony, we are really humbled that 5 years after Tata's death, the world still honors him. Tata would have loved to say, if he was alive today, that he was not the only one who fought for freedom, for justice, and the liberation of people in South Africa, and actually stood for the world. That there was a glorious we. We always talked about the glorious we. And I think that the memorial garden that is going to happen here should be a reminder to all of us that we all have it in our hands to change the world. It is not a single person who can change the world. Madiba, my father, Fonishata could not have done it alone without the support of people here in Cambridge, in England, in Australia, in the US, all over the world. No, he couldn't have done it, he couldn't have survived those brutal years. But I think for young people, my dad was very much interested in the young people because they represented the future. And I think that if we can teach the young people to care about each other, because if all of us can just touch the heart of another, we won't actually hate another person, we will not discriminate against another person. We are different, but in our difference there is unity, there is camaraderie amongst all of us, and so those are the values that we have to enhance and move forward into the future. And with those short words, I'd like to say to the Liverpool City and to Mandela 8, continue the good work that you are doing, because what you are doing here in this garden is also what we as a family are doing in South Africa, what we call planning the Freedom Garden, so that people can visit where my father is lying, and also be reminded continually that unless we are free all over the world, none of us are free. And we really need to, at this point where there is a resurgence of emphasizing differences around the world, I think we need to fight very hard so that we don't roll back the gains that have been made so far, because the future doesn't lie in us fighting amongst each other. The future for this planet lies in us collaborating and working with each other across boundaries, across age, across racial differences. That's the future of this world. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr Maki. I'd just like to welcome now school children. I know you've all been waiting really patiently, but it's your turn now. I'd like to say thanks to the children of St Silas, there's St Silas. Hello. And St Oswald's. St Mike.
When I was asked would I prepare a blessing for this service, for this ceremony, I felt quite anxious. How on earth do you find the right words to celebrate a Mandela, a Liverpool 8 blessing? In a sense, I think the children, you've already done it. But in a very real way, in a moment of silence, if we just pause, I think we can almost sense the spirit of Nelson Mandela here with us this morning. We don't have to think very hard to remember his beautiful, unique smile. I think we can almost hear his voice saying to, "Thank you, Mr. Mayor, thank you, Liverpool City Council, I've come today to claim the gift you gave me in 1994 to be a free man of this city of Liverpool." We've all had to get up a little bit earlier perhaps this morning. Some of us haven't had to come too far, just round the corner. Others, like Maki and Tukwini, have had to come an awful long way. But I think Nelson Mandela will have come with us today. To be with us, especially to be with a beloved daughter and granddaughter, and to celebrate with us all that's been said and all that is happening here today in terms of this wonderful Mandela 8 Memorial. It is sad that, unfortunately, he himself was never able to walk down Granby Street. It's sad that he didn't have a chance of meeting some of our young people on Berkeley Street. It's sad that he wasn't able to go and visit some of the elders who live in Steve Biko Close, another wonderful tribute to a hero of those who fought apartheid. We never could bump into him buying vegetables on Lodge Lane. but in a very real sense, he would feel at home here, because the struggle that he went through was the same struggle that has gone on here, as has already been said. I think Nelson Mandela saw himself as a man who stood in a long line of women and men down the ages who have fought against oppression. And that's what we feel in Liverpool 8. We are here today, but we're standing on the shoulders of giants. We're standing on successive generations that have fought for freedom in our city. And we're here today with you, especially the young people, pledging that because of this memorial and because of what we believe in, which is the same that Nelson Mandela believed in, we will go on in that fight. So the essence of a Nelson Mandela blessing, the essence of a Liverpool 8 blessing, a blessing perhaps summed up in 3 Mandela quotations. Though human goodness and determination can sometimes seem hidden, it can never be extinguished. When people are determined, they can overcome anything. May we continue to remain so determined in all our shared endeavours, in Liverpool 8, in this whole city and throughout the world. A winner is a dreamer who never gives up. Sometimes it falls upon a generation to be great. May the spirit of Nelson Mandela bless and confirm us all so that our greatness truly blossoms. And integral to this Mandela 8 Memorial is its bridge. May that bridge symbolise the life of the Liverpool community, reaching out with hope and promise to the whole of Liverpool and beyond, to a troubled country that needs to be fed with the spirit of Nelson Mandela. May our little bridge be a way for us to reach out, to share the reality of the spirit of Nelson Mandela in our world today. It always seems impossible until it has been done. Amen.